New South Wales on the brink as COVID hits Sydney again. Joe Biden plans to dismantle Trump's wall, and is Trump planning a coup? This is The Arc with Romeo Georges. Romeo, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you. Did you see what I did there? I played into the COVID fear that the media has been pushing. New South Wales on the brink of COVID as it hits Sydney.
You changed the tone of your voice.
I
was scared for a little bit there.
Were you? Like, good, because you trust me, right? Because I've got a good record.
Yeah.
See, one of the things I've been really frustrated with seeing this last week is how the media has been enjoying this COVID bump for their views. See, normally Christmas is a slow time for them. Everyone's been enjoying their family as they should be. But no, they want more ratings. They want the revenue. They want all the ads to pay up.
Absolutely.
Does this make you sick as much as it makes me sick? Because this is why I exist. I want to give the news to people straight with the facts. But no, the media, they've got to pump it up so they get the views. What do you think of all that?
They can pump it up as much as they want. Of course they want to pump it up. There was a light bulb moment for me when Scott Morrison said in the original, when this all started, that they were spending $30 million on a marketing campaign. I couldn't figure that out. A virus that's so deadly needs a $30 million marketing campaign.
Yeah.
What are you trying to sell? Normally it's you market something when you want to sell it.
Yeah.
You don't need to market anything when it's that dangerous. It markets itself.
Yeah.
It's free. You know? The media, it's like, I'm going to put it this way. They say that if a dog tastes blood, he wants it more. And the only way to stop that is by putting the dog down. That's what they say. That's what I've heard. So let's say the media are dogs. That $30 million was a taste of blood, and now they want more. But come on, guys. We really need to put these bastards down. Yeah. They're dangerous, very, very dangerous, and they have no leash on anymore. Yeah. We used to have an organisation, what's it called, where they monitor the news and monitor the media and, prosecute them for false information. That seems to be taken off. That leash has been let go. They can do whatever they want. Yeah. And hey, another $30 million wouldn't go astray. Yeah.
It seems that way, doesn't it? And we always look at and laugh at the US media because they are like the pinnacle of how stupid things can get in reporting. And I think they're like, the media is probably one of the most, they're not the biggest. Actually, I'd say it's the biggest, but it's not the only contributing factor. But it's the biggest that's pulling America apart. It really is. Yep. Just in a nutshell, I won't go into it, but the Hunter Biden situation doesn't exist before the election. 3 weeks after the election, news comes out that, Hunter Biden's actually been under investigation for 6 months for his financial ties to China. And the media is like, here it is, we found it. Not when it was relevant to the voters.
It's always relevant. If you can prove that Joe Biden, through his son, profited millions, hundreds of millions of dollars from an organisation that's designed on interfering in your freedom. That's an ace up Donald Trump's up his sleeve. If he can turn around and I'm sure if it gets proven, Americans won't accept Biden. It's they're not going to accept him. Every single person that I've seen on TV that is so against Trump has come out and said, I will vote for anyone except Trump. I think that if they find out and the allegations turn out to be true, even the ones that wanted Biden will say, well, do I want a leader that's his son, firstly, is a pedophile, a drug user, and was a front to Biden earning money through companies that are CCP run? What would he do if he's president? Would he give them top secret information? That's it. Don't get me wrong. The Americans, when it comes to defending America, they'll rip your head off. There's no ifs or buts about it. They're we don't even have that here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, is there a house in America that doesn't have the flag? It's not Texas.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. It's a competition. How big can you have a flag? Yeah.
You know, here, if we put up the Australian flag.
So what are you, racist against the Aboriginals?
Yep.
What's wrong with you? Are you proud of this country? Yeah. No.
Yeah, I am proud of this country.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't me that did that to the Aborigines, but that's another topic.
It's another topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to let you guys know, last week, this is obviously a very sensitive topic, COVID. Over the course of the last week, I was actually at Romeo's house. We were talking about the plans for 2021, and one of my videos got a strike against it.
Yep.
It's its first strike, and I know. And during this last week, I reposted a video that I did from a couple of weeks ago. Actually, no, it was actually mid this year. It was in June this year. 6 months ago, we're in a situation where New South Wales, there were some cases that were spiking just like they were right now. In fact, it's the same situation. I put a video out saying, this is not a good idea, guys. We cannot lock down. We know they don't work. We need to consider suicides, people not being diagnosed, all factors, economically as well, businesses being ruined, the mental health of Australians. We can't just lock down because a few hundred people or even a few thousand people die. We can't, because there's going to be more people that die from indirect causes of the lockdown. I said the lockdowns are worse than the virus. And I outlined 14 steps to protect Australians from that while preserving our freedoms as much as possible. Now, many of those things I've shifted on, one of which being masks. Turns out there's no definitive proof that masks work or don't work. In fact, it's quite a fickle process trying to work that out. And if you think it's a simple concept, you should read into the literature. It turns out there's nothing definitive. When it comes to lockdowns, even the World Health Organization said that lockdowns should be an absolute last resort. If you want to find the interview on that, search Andrew Neil, World Health Organization doctor on lockdowns. It'll come straight up. There were a few other steps I've also changed on, but I put all of that out because it was mostly correct. Nothing has really changed. And then I got hit by a lot of people. A lot of people said, Joel, the virus is not real. It doesn't exist. And I'm like, okay, why are you guys saying that? Why? What's going through your mind? Because I'm trying to understand where they're coming from. There were some people that were very upset and said, I can't wait till Riccardo straightens you out on this topic. And I was just like, okay, you clearly haven't seen how Riccardo and I talk. We're very open with each other. So funnily enough, Riccardo was asked about this by Dougal Cameron, our mutual friend, in May this year, in his third interview with him. And Dougal asked him if COVID's real, and he said, yeah, absolutely, it's real. It's a very weak virus. And he told them how to kill it. Anyway, I reposted that video, and that's the video that got taken down. That's what got me the strike.
Yes, because now we've got the vaccine now.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want people looking for alternatives.
Yeah.
Let's keep in mind here, I'm not I can't say that I'm an alternative medicine kind of person. I've always been, I'm sick, I go to the doctor. Doctor tells me, here's some antibiotics, I take them. I've never been a person to really look into alternative medicine, natural medicines. But what I did always notice is that, for example, let's say cancer, everyone's against marijuana oil. The medical board, anybody that offers any type of for example, eating greens like cabbage or broccoli or, stuff like that, that'll help you combat cancer. Yeah. Every single doctor in the medical field will tell you you're a Looney Tune, this and that. And, to me it felt like these people, if this cannabis oil works out, our industry is destroyed, we need to defend it at all costs, even at the death of others. I'm not saying non-conventional medicine works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. Yeah. I'm just saying that anytime anybody puts their hand up and say, I've got an alternative, they're straight away either assassinated or
something happens.
Something happens,
Yeah.
and it's the same now. We have a Don't you find it funny, Joel? That
it's hilarious, and
by somebody just saying, like, I'm surprised my video about drinking arak as a way of keeping your inside sanitized, hasn't been banned because trust me, arak kills everything.
Yeah, by the way, arak, guys, is a 70% alcoholic Arab drink, which looks like water, but when you add water, it turns white.
Turns white like the snow.
That's it.
It's pure.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It tastes like licorice.
Yeah. I think in the Middle East, they a lot of the treatments they use was alcohol, to drink alcohol, even if it was a kid, give them alcohol to kill a disease or something because it was just so strong.
If alcohol can sanitize a bullet wound or a cut, why wouldn't it sanitize your inside? Why wouldn't it flush out all the? But hey, we're living in a society now where you dare to stand outside the box, you're gonna get hammered for it.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how Jesus said, have a little wine for your health? Yeah. And a lot of people are like, you shouldn't drink too much alcohol if you're a Christian. It's like, well, just a little bit, just for your health, just a bit.
Well, Jesus also said, everything in moderation.
Yeah, that's right.
Everything, if you have too much of anything, is bad for you.
That's right.
First doctor.
Yeah.
The first true doctor.
Yeah, that's right. He's a doctor of healing, not a doctor of medicine.
Well, you didn't walk around with a prescription pad and charge you $65 from Medicare.
And put leeches on you. Anyway, actually, we had a good leech story last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
That one was doing well. I know how much you love the greens, Romeo.
Oh,
So
don't get me started.
So we do. I am a little bit disappointed about the strike, but it's like I was expecting it. I thought it'd come sooner if I'm being honest. But look, they wanted me to say the sky's blue. I said, okay, is the sky blue in the title? And Riccardo said the sky's blue, and then they penalised me for not saying the sky's blue. That's that's pretty much what just happened. Very frustrating because it means I can't post for a week, but. So that means basically no ad revenue as well, guys. No new ad revenue from the posts. But that's okay. I've got a lot of subscribers. They've been very nice to me and my family, and I appreciate their support. But this is something I'm going to have to be careful of. Doesn't mean I can't cover it. I will still be posting on Facebook. However, it does mean that on YouTube, if I want to stay on there and spread other truths, I don't want to jeopardize spreading other truths just for this one topic. So I have to approach this nuance, guys. It doesn't serve anyone if I completely can't talk on this topic.
Well, if you're fully gagged, you're hopeless.
Exactly.
That's it. Who you're helping? No one. I totally understand that, but as long as we keep in mind that you must be true to yourself, and the gains that you'll make, the credibility that you would build is absolutely priceless.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Don't shy away from anything.
Yeah.
If if you believe in it truly, and don't shy away from anything because it might affect you. I know that I know that you lost your job 4 months ago now.
Yeah, 4 months. Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you for being able to seek the truth and put it out there and, get some money for it, because you do have a mum and a brother and 2 sisters, and you've got a household to look after, and you've got a lot of responsibility, and I respect that, and I respect your honesty about it. A lot of people out there aren't honest about that.
They're not.
And I told you that from the beginning. I respect you for your honesty.
Yeah, and I appreciate
and
that.
Australians love that. They'll say, yep, Charles doing a great job, and he's unemployed, and if we're able to help him, and he can continue to provide us with the information that will help us decide what path to take in this whole situation, I say, good on you. All power to you.
Yeah, and the thing with, and I appreciate you saying that. The thing with what I'm doing is I don't profess to know everything. I'm just sort of I'm
who does?
Yeah, well, many people.
You're actually stupid if you say you know everything.
Exactly. It's yeah, that's right. I can't remember there's many quotes that come to mind about that. Who was it that said, I know nothing? That's the one thing I'm certain of.
It's either Einstein or Socrates.
I think it was Socrates. Yeah. Look, I'm just on a journey with our viewers, and I think you are too, just to get to the bottom of the truth, because we're so sick of the media feeding us these lies. And this is why I don't blame people coming after me when I post an old video of some older things that I thought of. People thought I was selling out. I'm a grifter. I'm a this. I'm a that. I'm a plant. Oh, that's my favourite one.
Plant? What kind of plant?
I think agapantha plant.
I'd like to be cactus.
A cactus?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Anybody touches me bleeds.
That already happens there, Romeo.
No.
That already happens there, Romeo.
Well, believe me, they're bleeding.
Yeah, that's it. Look, the greens, we already talked about the greens last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like we're just trying to find the truth. And once we get there, we've said it, the media could end both of us overnight if they did their job. And why would anyone have to listen to us?
They would never end us.
Yeah.
You know, the media has done... The media needs us.
What makes you say that?
You can't have a police officer without a robber. You can't have good without bad. You can't have light without darkness. We are the light compared to their darkness. We are the good compared to their bad. Yeah. And we're the real coppers compared, and they're we are the opposite of them.
Yeah.
You need to give balance. People will search for the truth. And the media has never, as truthful as the media can be, it has never been truly truthful.
Yeah.
And that's what goes back to my statement before.
Yeah.
Never sell out for money, and your credentials will outweigh what you're actually making, and you will be the person that people will go to in times of confusion. But the media needs us. It does.
Yeah, they do. It's funny you say that because that makes me think of... I've been meaning to cover this with Riccardo for the last month or so. I just keep forgetting. The media in America is collapsing. They really are. They have enjoyed you know how I talked about the COVID bump in ratings? They have enjoyed the Trump bump for 4 or 5 years. They were the ones that propped Trump up. They gave him millions, maybe billions of dollars worth of value in coverage when the Republican National Convention was going on in 2015 and 2016. Because they thought, if we can prop Trump up and make him the nominee, because he's great for ratings, the people love him. They love how he bashes Jeb Bush on the debate stage in the Republican debates. If we can bash him bash the other normal corporate Republicans and get Trump to win the nomination, it'll be an easy win for Hillary. She'll smash it. Now, we all know how that turned out. But it turned out that this was really good for their ratings over the next few years. I mean, the New York Times newspaper, they've got right now record subscriptions. Not for long if Trump doesn't make it on January 20th, if he doesn't manage to turn this around. But they won't. They're going to lose a lot of subscribers otherwise. And I think they know this, and they're trying to squeeze every last bit of viewership.
At least the Americans have 380 million people, which gives them a...
330, I think.
338 million.
Something like that. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
I don't know why I keep thinking 380. But there's a lot of things happening in America for the media to cover. My question is, what's the Australian media going to do when the show's over?
That's a good question. Sky News, what are you going to do?
You know? What's going to happen to programs like The Project or even Channel 10, who's bought out by CNN, the biggest leftist organisation, media outlet out there? I just don't understand why the Australian media are so hell-bent on destroying the reputation of a foreign leader.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
I think we know why, though. We know why. It's the same reason why the American media do it. It's for ratings. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of these media organisations get funding by overseas sources.
CNN, Channel 10 is CNN.
Exactly. Oh, that's another thing. Before I forget, CNN, they are collapsing completely. They're looking for a buyer to sell it off.
Yeah.
The Orange Man Bad organisation, News Corp organisation, turns out they can't survive without an Orange Bad.
What's Waleed going to do?
That's a great question.
7-Eleven? Wow.
Exactly.
Check out chick. Check out chick. Not a check out bloke, check out chick. You know, what's he going to do? You know?
When was the last time you watched The Project? I haven't watched that in ages.
Mate, I see the commercial and it makes me want to vomit.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not because I know that it's a leftist program.
Yeah.
It's because, and I'm going to say this, I said it before, I'll say it again, and some people didn't like it, some people loved it.
Yeah.
Kerry Bickmore, you know, I thought it was despicable what she said when that Texas gentleman said, you know, I don't care about COVID, you know, older gentleman, you know, I just want to live my life, you know, that's my constitution, it's my right. The comment that came out of her mouth, I just looked at her and I said, you're a sellout.
Yeah.
You're a sellout. You lost your, you know, she and good luck to her. I don't bag her for it. She used to take any opportunity she could to tell everybody how much she loved her ex-husband who died of brain cancer. And good luck to her. I'm not bagging that part out, but to go from being a person that celebrated the love of your life and losing him at such a young age, you'd think you'd want that gentleman, that old guy, to live for as long as possible.
Yeah.
and the first comment to come out of hers was, doesn't he want to live?
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Does he want to die?
Yeah.
I thought, you sell out.
Yeah, they make me sick. They really do.
You know?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be telling everybody, live.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah.
Live, love. You know? Look what happened to me. I lost the love of my life. And, you know, okay, she found somebody else, but she did lose the love of her life at that point in time. Yeah. Okay? And yeah, that, I thought, like with me, when, you know, I haven't lost the love of my life, thank God, but I did lose the biggest person I've ever had in my life that I respected, you know, so much, and that was my dad, you know, and when he died, his last words were, live, Romeo, live. You know, buy a motorbike. You know, do what you want to do, live, jump out of an aeroplane, live. And I promised him I would. Then I got Gladys Berejiklian come along, and Anastasia Palaszczuk and Dictator Dan. Yeah. You know, God, I wish Dad was around. He'd bitch slap the whole lot of yous.
I believe that.
He would.
I believe that. So how are you... so it seems like these developments in Sydney have progressed.
7 new cases, big deal.
7 new cases. And
anybody die?
And what did they say? No fatalities. Yeah.
Thank God. Praise be to God. Thank you.
And this leads to this next photo. They're not buying it. Mutate the virus.
Yeah.
I love Austin Powers. Is this how we're going to be spending Christmas dinners? You tell me, Romeo. We're WOGs. How are you gonna be celebrating Christmas?
Okay. I'll be celebrating Christmas with my family, my friends, and my neighbours.
Yeah.
Who's going to dob on it? I mean, nobody in my street believes in it. Nobody in the next street believes in it.
Yeah.
We're gonna celebrate the birth of Christ the way we should celebrate it. You know, just like when Christ was born, there was Joseph, Mary, the shepherds, the 3 wise men. Yeah. I think there was 10 people, including the animals.
Yeah.
All right, but do the same thing. Yeah. We'll thank the Lord for the blessings that we have with my family and friends. Yeah. And if there's more than 10, then there's more than 10. Yeah. And if you're going to come and give me a fine, come and give me a fine. Yeah. I'm more than willing to pay it. It's a contribution to the ongoing support of Gladys Berejiklian. Yeah. Yeah. So you when you heard the news this morning, guys, and this is being filmed on a Wednesday morning, when you heard the news from Gladys that there are only 8 new cases, which is good. That's what they're saying. That's good. This is trending in the right direction. That's what they tell us. And because of this, you will be permitted to, because that's the power. This is the mental games. And Riccardo talked about this. This is what did he call it? I'd like to remind everybody that you're being told you are permitted by a public servant that we put there, that we elected there. Yeah, public servant. Yeah. To serve, not to give orders. That's right. To serve. Yeah, she's not appointed by God. She's appointed by us. We empower her. Yeah.
That's the funny thing. So
She looks like a pharaoh, though.
Pharaoh. There's one photo I put up on my Facebook where she looked like a what did she look like? She looked like one of those dodos, the extinct dodos with the Armenian nose. But look, I'm not going to make fun of Armenian ancestry.
Mate, what are you talking about? I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah, hit me.
I was in Beirut back 1999.
Yeah.
I hadn't been married for that long, I think a year or so.
Yeah.
And my cousin invited me to the Armenian New Year's celebrations.
Ah.
I was happily married, but I went. Jammal was with my cousin's wife. They went somewhere.
Yeah.
And, mate, I sat there in this restaurant doing the hubbly bubbly. Yeah. And I said, I cannot see not one ugly Armenian woman. They are stunning.
They are stunning.
They are beautiful women.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I
can see why Turkey's trying to invade Armenia right now.
It's for the women.
It's other way.
Wars. There's three things.
Yeah.
Wars happen.
Yeah.
Gold, oil, and women. That's it.
Troy, it was all over one woman. But
I'd believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. But actually on that topic, and this just came to my mind then, with Armenia, they are going through a lot of trouble right now, obviously. And there's actually a petition on right now where they've only got 2,000 petitions on it. 2,000 people that have signed on to it. And this is basically to pressure our parliamentarians to recognise Artsakh, which would really empower the Armenian people who are being heavily under attack. So, guys, maybe I'll go follow the Armenians of Sydney and check out what they're talking about on this and sign this petition because it's so important. 2,000 signatures is nothing. I don't care that I've said it to them. It's a lot, but it's nothing compared to, for example, Mark Latham's Religious Freedom Bill, which got 20,000. Yeah. If you want to make an impact, we need more signatures. These are people that are dying. These are people that can't celebrate Christmas. They've got to worry about bombs flying overhead. They all know. If you ask Armenians in Sydney, I guarantee you they will all know. Even Gladys, she will know someone in Armenia that's died from this, and it's terribly sad. So, we talk about COVID restrictions and this and that.
Do you think she'd care?
I think she does. I'd like to see her speak up more about it.
She hasn't said anything yet.
Sorry?
She hasn't said anything yet.
Not specifically, yeah. I'd like to see her come out.
I don't think she will.
You don't think so?
No. Her record speaks for itself. She wasn't there when the decision was made to whether abortion becomes legal or not.
Yeah, that's
she wasn't there.
I can't forgive her for that. She hasn't even asked for forgiveness.
Yeah, well, a woman, especially a woman,
Yeah.
To just not be there.
Yeah.
Speaks volumes.
Yeah,
not willing to make the hard decisions.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. She could have been with it. She could have been against it.
Yeah, yeah.
Till this day, we don't know.
We don't.
She cowered away.
Wishy-washy. And we know that, because you were on the front line of the debate when you were defending the farmers and with the droughts that were going on and the bushfires, where's ScoMo? Gladys gets elected early last year, May 2019, I think. And what's the first, she campaigns on doing all this stuff for the farmers and all these topics that we need to talk about, economic topics. Not a word about abortion, yet that's the first thing they go for. Are you serious? Yeah. Even though not one woman had been prosecuted, in New South Wales, it wasn't a problem for full-term abortion. But they thought, this is a priority. Let's piss off the religious community.
They needed something to not just piss off the religious community, but also to pour a little bit of water on the heat they were getting from the rural communities and what was happening with the water and all that kind of stuff. Because Australians need to know, farmers, this just didn't happen. We've had a drought for the last 6 years. And now, on that note, the media now is trying to say, we've got a bumper crop. I spoke to Anita Donlan yesterday. She basically told me, what a load of crock. Absolute rubbish. Some areas, yes. Some areas, not a drop and dry as a bone.
Yeah.
But the media and the government, wow, here we go. They've made it. No, they haven't. They are far from it.
Yeah.
Also, we have not addressed the sale of the water.
Yeah, what, section 100, paragraph 100 of the Constitution? You were the first one to point that out to me. Outrageous. Outrageous.
Paragraph 20, section 100 or something, or section 20, paragraph 100 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It states, you must...
It's not a commodity.
No, it has to be, even environmental water has to be used for agriculture in a state of emergency. But we have the Greece saying, no, you can't use it because there's prawns in that lake.
It's a frog.
Well, fish them out, put them on a barbecue. No, actually prawns.
There's prawns. Is that legit? I thought you were kidding.
It was in the paper.
Oh my gosh. Where's that?
It was. You'll see it. It's when I rip up the newspaper and I eat it. Because I couldn't believe it. I do believe in the value of animal life. I believe in all life. But to actually say, there's, we need to. There's a special type of fish and prawns in this lake. They're made for eating, and they're made for eating, right?
Yep.
But if you can go 5 days without food, or 7 days without food, you can only go 3 days without water.
Yeah.
But let's protect the prawns and the fish.
Oh yeah, we've got to the prawns. The prawns are
stupid, absolutely stupid. Yep. That's why I hate the Greens.
Yeah,
that's why they are putrid. I remember when I started to learn about left, right, centre, right, left, and all that communism. I was in the Greens team at school. I asked to be moved.
Hang on, you were learning about this.
I went to Gold.
Oh, okay.
I just can't stand them. They offer nothing to Australian people. Nothing. Joel, you used to be one of them.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yes?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
What reasonable solution to a problem have they offered us?
Well, I didn't follow the Australian Greens. You know what's funny? There's not a party in Australia that I'd follow when I was progressive. It actually doesn't exist.
Yeah. So basically that's it.
So there nothing, zero.
There isn't a party that represents the Australian people until One Nation started.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to... Listen, One Nation wasn't always perfect. I wasn't a big follower of One Nation.
Yeah.
But every political party is allowed to change.
Yeah.
Every political party is allowed to make mistakes as long as they recognise those mistakes and fix them. I think that One Nation, Pauline Hanson, has recognised those mistakes.
Yeah, like with the abortion recently, they reversed on that. Yeah,
and she's hiring, she's employing people that are for the Australian people, where before her original senators were baboons. Let's not kid her. That idiot, talking about, what was it? He was bagging out the Asians at some private conference, or he was bagging out the Aborigines at another. But Miss Hanson learnt the lesson and realised, you know what, I need to filter these people, like we all do. We filter people in our life. And she's got people like Mark Latham.
Yeah.
Rod Roberts. Malcolm Roberts.
Yeah.
Great. Like, I know Rod Roberts personally. And he is Australian as he can get.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And now we've got Riccardo Bosi. Little WOG kid.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, they grew up and became a commander of the best of the best of the best. But at the same time, I've got a firm saying that a general shouldn't be in politics. Shouldn't be a politician. Because what you learn in war really can't be applied at its full maximum in peace. But Riccardo taught himself about politics while also being taught about warfare.
Yeah, he was horrified by it.
He's able to separate the two. He's able to take the leadership of being a lieutenant colonel in the SAS, but also he's got the mind that's open to negotiation. You see, generals don't negotiate. Yeah. Unless they're defeated or unless they win. But in war, you don't negotiate. You make a plan, you stick to it at all cost. Yeah. Unless you're severely getting smashed, and then you need to readjust that plan. Yeah. But Riccardo's got that ability to say, okay, let's talk. but he's got the leadership to stand up and say, nah, not accepting this.
Yeah.
A lot of politicians, all politicians in the major parties tend to crumble under heat.
Yeah.
Oh, will I lose this position if I stand up?
Exactly. Over the last year and a half, I think I might be bold in saying this, but I think it's true. I'm the single person that's, other than maybe his wife and maybe his son, I'm the single person that's managed to spend the most amount of time with him and talk about politics and just pick his brain apart. It's so, the media, this is your warning, you don't know what you're getting into. If you interview this guy, he will pick you apart. He will.
Because that's his job. That's what he's trained in.
Yeah. Cometh the hour, cometh the man, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what he's trained in. Don't forget, he's an interrogator as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I used to pride myself on being like a little bit of recon, did a little bit of recon.
Yeah, no.
And I got taught skills of, identifying things around me. But there's nowhere near the power of the SAS and the ability of their interrogation. That will make you feel as though you're safe. Yeah. And at the same time, you don't know when you're going to die. You know, it's uncanny.
Yeah.
It's incredible, their ability.
Yeah. And I've said this to a number of times to people, that there are times, like, even though I've spent so much time talking with him, he completely blindsides me with some random knowledge on psychology or something or other, where you can tell he's really read into depth on a topic.
You have to.
And it comes out of nowhere. I'm just like, and he says it. He warns them. He says, I know I'm just a dumb soldier that doesn't know which shoe to put on the right foot and whatever. And people underestimate him, and it's hilarious. And it reminds me of what I did in the Christian Democrat Party last year, where we removed half of the board. At every step of the way, they underestimated the 22-year-old and the 18-year-old who were pulling this off, and it worked. Hubris will be their downfall, just as it was with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. But that's enough on Riccardo's background. It feels weird talking about him when he's not in the room, but he's an interesting character, isn't he?
Absolutely. From the day I met him, I'm really impressed with the way he holds himself. There's from the first time you speak to him, this guy is not bullshitting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What he says, he backs, and you got to respect him for that. He's not there on camera with boxing gloves on, going 1, 2.
Yeah.
God, they're a bunch of imbeciles, aren't they?
They really are.
Oh God, they're tryhards.
Yeah, they really are. He's not trying to get their attention. Yeah. Once upon a time, Riccardo was just a politician running in the Australian Conservatives.
Politicians in Liberals, Labor.
Yeah.
You know what they remind me of? You're sitting with your girlfriend at lunchtime. Yeah. Just having a chat. Yeah. And that irritating prick comes along. Hey guys, what are you doing? And you just go, get the hell out of here before I knock you unconscious.
Yeah. Have you heard about this issue? Have you heard about? But hang on, Romeo. Let me improve your analogy. There's 2 of them.
No.
And then there's 3 of them. And then there's 4 of them. That's the major parties coming up to you saying, no, but this guy, this. And it's like, you haven't said anything. You're just like, can I just enjoy my breakfast? Damn it.
Can I just talk to my girlfriend?
I'm trying to. The poor guy's trying to get lucky here, and you're telling him about the social justice issues. Yeah, but no, I saw Riccardo.
And then you have one student walk past with no bra on, and she's just got hairy armpits, and you go, no, that's just wrong.
No, now I'm just.
And that's the greens.
Yeah, that's the greens. The unshaven legs.
She's 18 years old, and her breasts are already hanging underneath her armpits. It's just like, aren't they? I mean, you're 18, aren't you? Like, seriously, no, Yeah, they're the greens.
Are you worried about your son's generation and going into university life?
I'll teach my son. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I will teach my son to stand his ground. Yeah. But you know what? I'm not worried.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be honest, because I got a game. I got a plan.
Yeah.
The utter and total annihilation of the Green political party and their influence in our universities.
Yeah.
Just waiting for Trump to win.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just, as you're talking about that, I'm thinking about your comments last week about Bant, the head of the Greens, and how you said he looked like he was burnt with a Bunsen burner. 4 eyes, I think.
Seriously, I reckon he had no friends. I reckon he went into the Greens because he just you just look at him and go, have you had a life?
Yeah, and haram, man. Like
he still hasn't been laid.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. But this is a sad thing.
Tell.
But isn't this sad though? Like, because like we say haram, and that means poor thing in Arabic. We say haram, poor thing guy. He's had a rough life. He just needed a bit more love. Maybe he would have gone on to be an executive of a financial company or something, or been a real go-getter, But he's not an alpha. He's just not. And whether that's a biological card he's been dealt, or whether that's a rough upbringing, I feel sorry for the guy. But the guy, me feeling sorry for him is quickly replaced by anger when he tries to push through a wealth tax or a tax on bloody a death tax or
communist
something.
tax.
A communist tax, basically. Actually, you know what? That reminds me of a tax that came out of California. I can't believe I didn't chuck it in the slides. In California, they are introducing legislation. It hasn't been voted on yet, where you can, if you spend 60 days or more in California over the course of a year, a 1 year period, then you have to pay taxes for the next 10 years to California. Does that make sense? Isn't that insane? So what that means, guys, is
who came up with that?
Who do you think? So let me give you some background. Why would something like that come in? Every year in California, this I think 2019, there was about 30,000 people that came into California, and there was about 160,000 that went out. So there's a net amount of 130,000 people leaving California. They are losing their tax base. Okay? Doesn't matter what you see on Hollywood and all the influences that you see on Instagram there, people are leaving. Joe Rogan is leaving. Factories like Tesla and Elon Musk's, they're all gone to like Texas and Houston, okay? This wealth tax is to keep taxing them once they're gone. Now, I don't know how they're going to police it, because you're not going to have California police department going to bloody New York or Texas to arrest these people. But these are the policies you can expect, because it turns out that you don't find people fleeing to Venezuela. They're fleeing to America because of this stuff. And the moment that things go bad, the moment that you need apps to tell you where the poop corners are in California, the moment you get taxed heavily, it turns out rich people, they can get up and leave. That's something they're very good at. Mm-hmm. And they leave to places that are Havanas.
Byron Bay.
Byron Bay. Byron Bay is a bit like that, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is it? I don't know about Byron Bay.
They're all there. The Rock.
Yeah.
Even like I've lost a lot of respect for The Rock. But Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The Heveringtons, whatever they call it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That happened recently.
The Bourne Identity, that actor, what's his name?
Oh yeah, the Jason Bourne movies actor. Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. They're all leaving.
Yeah.
But I don't understand, like as you said, how they're going to police it. What are they going to do? Extradite somebody from New York? I mean,
we don't know.
Won't work.
Yeah.
It needs to be an independent country.
Yeah.
Where, like in Australia, if you have a business overseas, and it's registered in Australia, you have to pay tax to the Australian.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah.
It's just not more communist. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're really trying to do?
Yeah.
Because this is so absurd that I know what this hand's doing, but I can't see this hand.
Exactly. It's disgusting. And for those of you that don't understand, in America, it's not like Australia. You do your... there's probably a lot of viewers that haven't actually, because I got a lot of young viewers that have never paid taxes before. Yeah. But basically, in Australia, when you get your paycheck, if you work for an employer, and it comes through, you can see that, okay, the ATO took out this much. It's been contributed for your taxes. And that goes on your tax file number. Now, that's all in one go. In America, they have state taxes, federal taxes, and a million other taxes. It's very complicated. The bureaucracy there is insane. And that kind of thing is really bad, because when you have a state like California raising their taxes, because it means that people are going to leave California. They're going to vote with their feet and move to a better state. And, good for Texas. They've got, Tesla going there with Elon Musk. But, California.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado's got now Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's right. Is it
And
Colorado? Is that where he ended up? I never found out the state, but I knew he left.
And he's loving it, and he took all his employees with him, and they're not going to pay any Californian tax anymore. And the Colorado is going to really benefit from, because he's growing, as you know, he's going to employ more people, probably build a massive more factory, studios, and so hey, California, you know, you keep your, you know, that image you've got of, you know, everybody wants to live here when really nobody wants to live there anymore.
Yeah, I've been talking to a number of people about that. A lot of young people, they're like, you know, Gen Z people, they're like, oh yeah, I want to go to California. I want to become an influencer. You know, I want to influence people. I want to be a creator of content. And I get it. You know, it's glamorous. But the problem is, just like everything else the socialists propose. Yeah. I know.
And you don't slap them?
Romeo, I try not to. Like,
you know, they're going to
fly these days.
You know, why can't you just say to them, you know, you're going to end up serving coffee in a coffee shop?
No, I tell them that. I do tell them that. No, I tell them, if you want to go to did you know California it has 33% of the welfare recipients in America. I think it also has a third of all America's homeless population. And as I said before, it's so bad with the cleanups of the streets. Police aren't allowed to move on homeless people. You're not allowed to clean up people's trash. So the trash is building up. In fact, you have apps which will tell you where the poop hot spots are. And, you
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you'd expect it, though. And, I mean, one of the things that Ben Shapiro said was, he said, I don't like my kids playing in the street and them finding a syringe just there. You know, that's not okay. It's not a good place to raise my kids, you know. And, look, you go, you know, there are some streets which are all right, like Beverly Hills and this and that. But, of course, the rich
you're not allowed in there.
Yeah, no, you're not.
You know, you're not. So I can understand what Ben Shapiro is saying. He probably still lives, you know, of course he's going to live in a wealthy area, but, you know, he's not up there in those secluded, you know, as far as
it's not a gated community.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a suburb.
I can't understand that.
Gated communities? Well, you can if you're in South Africa.
But Nigeria.
Yeah,
but I just can't understand it. Excuse me, but how bad does it have to be to have security guards at the front and gated and thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got stalkers and you're a celebrity and you get weirdos that send you threats and
I do.
Psycho fans.
Well, apparently they're wishing me that I drive into an electric pole.
Is that right?
Yeah, wrap my ute around a pole.
You should tell them that I don't drive a small car, I drive a truck, I'd go through the pole.
I'll just let them know that I'm the greatest driver that ever existed. It's just idiots.
Tell them about your trip to Canberra. If I just fang it down the highway. But let's move on to this topic about. I don't know if you've heard much talk about this bill that's been brought forward, the coronavirus relief package in America, that the House in America voted to approve, the Senate in America voted to approve, and Trump basically vetoed it. He said, no, I'm not signing this bill because it has nothing to do with COVID-19 and relief for the people. And he said, send it back to me when you have something more like, because when you're giving the people more money. What was in this package? Why was Trump so pissed off? Well, it was proposing to it was a $900 million deal that was going to give the American people
$600 a week.
$600 a week.
Something
Actually,
like
no.
I just saw.
No, you're right. It's not $900 million. It's $900 billion.
That's right.
Dollars. Yeah. And it was going to give the American people $600 one-off payment, right?
Yeah.
Not a week. What's that going to pay? Is that going to pay for the week's rent?
That's Lebanese politics.
Yeah.
Give them $100.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? If you divide 900 billion by the population of the American population, 330 million, it ends up being like $2,800 for each adult American.
Yeah, but that's not. You did not take in consideration the back payments to corrupt politicians.
Exactly. And let's talk about some of the things that are in the package. For example, Trump's very upset that it's a COVID relief package for the American people. This is money that they don't have. America is in debt. I don't know if you guys realize this, but America is like $25 trillion in debt right now. So the American people are taking out a loan to pay for other things. For example, $135 million to Burma, $85 million to Cambodia, $1.4 billion to the Asia Reassurance Initiative Act, whatever the hell that is, $135 million to Nepal, $1.3 billion to Egypt for its military, $500 million to Israel, $25 million to Pakistan, $700 million to Sudan. This is America last. That's what we're looking at. So if you want to blame someone, blame Nancy Pelosi and the head of the Republicans in the Senate, Mitch McConnell.
Even when Corona's over, I want Nancy Pelosi to continue wearing a mask. Forever.
Yeah. Do you remember that time she got her hair done in the salon and she wasn't wearing a mask? The salons were all closed.
Was that her? Was that
was
Kremlin's?
her. That was her.
I thought that was the Kremlin's.
No, that was her. What happened was she was pushing for lockdowns in the area. They got lockdowns for all the salons except this one, which just opened just for her. Mm-hmm. And you know what the scandal was, what the media reported on? The fact that the salon owner betrayed her, and it was a setup, rather than the fact that there was a double standard. Rules for thee, but not for me.
The media's always going to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
They're all bastards.
But she's gone.
Well, you say that, but she's in a D plus 30 district. What does that mean, guys? That means that she wins by 35 points on her Republican opponent. That's like 80% of the vote. That's the problem.
But her own party don't want her anymore. She's done a lot of
that's a funny
damage. They don't want her. I'm not whether she gets voted in or not, but she's probably now one of the most hated member of her own political party. They can't stand her.
You're right, and we'll come to that.
Right.
But that's the contents of the deal. Trump said, no, throw it out. $600 is bull. It's BS. It's like me coming and robbing you, taking $100 out of your pocket, but giving you $20 back. Oh, you can have this. It's your money. This is the American people's money. It's their loan. So Trump proposed $2,000 for each adult American or $4,000 for a couple. I was like, okay.
Even that, what's that going to do?
No, not much. No, you're not much. In Australia, for example, if you're on the, I don't know, what are some numbers off the top of my head? I think in Australia, if you're on the job keeper, they've got their own scheme. If you're on the job seeker, it's something like $800 a fortnight, something like that. If you're looking for a job. Now Trump's he vetoed this and he said, come back with something better. So we'll see what happens. But he was not happy. He was not happy at all.
And this is from a man that's upset that he's not going to be president.
Yeah.
Why would he care?
Yeah.
Sign it.
Yeah.
I've lost.
Yeah.
Is this a man that is fighting? You know, I don't understand, but that's the media again. I mean, I'm saying here is a man still fighting for the American people while the media and probably most of the world think that he's lost. If you've lost, before sign it. Who cares? You've lost.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but he's doing a Tulsi Gabbard, isn't he? Where she put all this legislation forward against the agenda of the Democratic Party and the leadership. Protect the unborn, the born.
The media
after.
don't want to see this.
Yeah.
That the Democrats, it's actually, they're reporting the Republicans have turned on each other. It's actually the Democrats.
Yeah.
They've turned on each other big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the media doesn't want to talk about it. You know? It's just, I'm just over it, really. I can't wait for him to just come out and say, you know, either the executive decision or the member of the House and the senator come up and block it, discuss it.
Yeah.
Then Pence just goes, Trump.
Yeah.
Just get over and done with.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that for sure. But you're right about the your gut feeling is right about there's more infighting, especially right now in the Democrats. In fact, this is something I've been meaning to talk about, but I want to do it properly and I want to do it with you and Riccardo here because this is such an important concept for people to understand. This is not a rebellion of the left versus the right. You need to get that out of your mind, guys. I get it if you're new to politics and you've just learned what the hell left and right means. This is a rebellion of the establishment versus populists.
Yep.
It's institution versus the people. That's what it is. What do you believe in? The people? Do you believe in populism, or do you believe in the institutions, international institutions? So what we've been seeing this last week, in fact these last 2 weeks, is a big democratic push and a big democratic civil war in the Democrat Party. The progressives are in a battle for Medicare for all. What the hell is that? Well, in Australia, we've got Medicare, which covers everyone, basically, and then we've got, if you want private insurance, you can get additional cover, which is, I think it's not a bad system. It works for 25 million people. In America, they don't have Medicare for all. Mm-hmm. And Trump got rid of Obamacare, which only covered 20 million people, and then they've got about 160 million people who are on private healthcare. Now, there's been a big Democrat push and a big civil war right now to push for a vote, because right now, because Donald Trump and the Republicans did so well in the election in the House of Congress, where Nancy Pelosi is, Nancy Pelosi only holds the majority. The Democrats only hold the majority by about 6 votes. Well, it turns out there are 8 Democratic members who are a part of the squad, or the progressive wing of the party. That includes AOC, Rashida Tlaib, all those fun people, fun names. Now, because they've got more than the majority, they can flip it either way. They have significant power to not elect Nancy Pelosi as the speaker again, or not vote on anything in the future, so which would make Nancy Pelosi ineffective. And a lot of progressives, like Jimmy Dore, who runs an excellent progressive channel, he is a very truthful guy, an honest guy. I don't agree with him on so many things, but I've been listening to him longer than all the conservative guys I've been listening to, believe it or not. He used to work at the Young Turks, and then he left after a little while once he got fairly big. But it's been very fascinating, because Jimmy Dore is a progressive who has been at the forefront of this battle to push for a vote in #ForceTheVote, to try and get the Democrat Party to have a vote on Medicare for all. And we see this tweet from Cenk Uygur, the head of the Young Turks, where he says, "There's nothing wrong with Force the Vote. What's wrong is the timing. Let's do Force the Vote 10 more times at the right time. The right time is not an excuse to wait in this case. The right time was before this vote. I like being aggressive, but you have to do it strategically." This is a guy who says he's progressive. He's been pushing for a number of years. I used to be a subscriber to his organization back when I was progressive in 2016, 2017. I still got the receipts. And Jimmy Dore replies to him, "Yes, we need to keep waiting. You're such a good boy, Democrat." Did Cenk get his talking points again, straight from Neera Tanden again? Now, Jimmy Dore, he is a straight shooter. I keep telling people this. In the age of the internet, transparency is key. If you want to get elected, if you want to run a successful YouTube channel, if you want to be credible in politics, if you're honest, you can make your headway. If you're just expressing your views like you do, Romeo, and that's what I credit to your rise, is it's honesty and transparency. Watch this space. Next week, when I've got you and Riccardo, we'll be taking a closer look at this, because this is, as I said, it's the establishment, it's the institutions versus populists and the people, and transparency. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think this is completely brand new to you in terms of Force the Vote. What do you think about this whole civil war?
From what you just said, Cenk is playing the. Can we say he's playing the numbers game?
Yeah.
Favoritism, populist?
Yeah.
And he's been called out on it. I'd like to see his reply to Jimmy.
No reply.
No reply,
no
thank
reply,
you.
Of course not.
Absolutely, yeah. Had there been a reply, but I mean, Jimmy's rise as well, you can say he's a straight shooter, and just like people tend to magnate towards that, like they're just drawn in. I think those words that he said, he's going to backfire in his face. I mean, he already did. He just exposed him right there. Good boy, who you've been talking to, who you're getting, you could say that he said to him, "You're a puppet. Who's pulling your strings?"
Yeah. Pretty much didn't he?
So
yeah,
that's one thing that I'm glad that nobody can say about me or you.
Yeah,
there are no strings to these wrists.
That's right.
Especially this tongue.
That's right.
And if people, people find comfort in the truth, isn't that what we all want?
Yeah.
Plus, I think here in Australia, we've always said politicians are not always honest.
Yeah.
But in the recent months, this year has really exposed them for who they really are.
Yeah.
And that's why New South Wales is not going to be a Victoria. Not because we have less lefties than Victoria. I think just even the lefties themselves said, no, I really don't want to head down the Victorian way.
Yeah.
There's too much to lose.
Yeah.
Victoria will never get over what happened to her.
No.
It's going to take a long, long time.
Yeah, no one will forget the pregnant woman having her phones taken off her.
Yeah. Or the elderly woman that was minding her own business in the park and arrested by police. I mean, that's never been seen before in a free democratic nation.
That's right.
This is communist stuff. This is along the lines of being run over by a tank.
Yeah.
In Tiananmen Square.
That's right. That's students.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw when the coppers were rushing in with their hands on each other's shoulder, grab one person and rip him out. I saw communists.
Yeah.
I just can't believe Dan Andrews is not arrested yet. I can't believe he said sorry.
Yeah.
And he was accepted.
He admitted it.
The biggest.
He admitted it. It was his fault. Sorry, it was his fault about the hotel quarantine. It was he completely said that's our fault. If he gets the benefits of success, he gets the benefits of failure as well.
Yeah, well, I recently found out that he used to be a hot dog vendor.
Is that right?
How
old was he?
Oh, not sure. But
I mean,
in his younger days.
I mean, once upon a time I was a labourer, but I don't let people hold that over me. But
no, but hot dog vendor hanging out with Karl Williams.
Yeah.
The late Karl Williams.
Yeah.
Is that, if you want to, the same people who bag out Karl Williams are the same people that love Dan Andrews. Strange, isn't it? The bloke hung out with underworld figures, especially somebody like Karl Williams. I always say God rest their soul, but I'd like to say God forgive him as well. But who is this guy?
Yeah.
If he was any good at his hot dog vending machines, he would have had a franchise by now, a multi-millionaire. He wasn't good at that. And then Prime Minister, the Premier of Victoria, look what he's done. Big deal. You went over to China and signed some shonky deal to get some money. Anyone could do that.
Yeah.
You really haven't invested in your state. You haven't made your state safe, secure, with future for the people. You've actually destroyed your state. And you say sorry, 800 and something deaths, whether they're related to COVID or not, they're still deaths. Nobody's talking about how many people committed suicide in Victoria.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about how many businesses have been permanently destroyed in Victoria. He limited it to, you got the left saying he done a great job. He limited to 800. 800 people died.
And to a Middle Easterner, that is nothing. Crimea River. If you've lost someone, I'm sorry. But, we all know people in the Middle East that have died to terrorism in recent years.
Every single person, every single Arab, whether Syrian, Lebanese, Palestinian, Egyptian, every single person knows somebody or has lost somebody in their family.
Yeah. How many people are in Lebanon now, Romeo? What's the population?
4.5 million. And a nation of 4.5 million accepted 2.2 million Syrians.
So it increased by 50%.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, guys, can you imagine if Melbourne or Sydney increased by 2 million people? Because that's what we're talking about.
The exodus. I don't blame them. I welcome Victorians that want to live free and respected. And I don't hold Gladys Berejiklian responsible for the success of New South Wales. I don't. I hold the success of New South Wales by the New South Wales people. She made a massive mistake, right? She used something to try to get us to go down the same road as Victoria. That's my opinion. That's the way I saw it. I'm allowed to have it.
Yeah, sure.
Allowing 2,700 people off a boat, then blaming Border Force, then coming out saying, look, we all make mistakes, when Border Force had the emails to prove that it was her and her chief health advisor that gave the New South Wales Health gave the okay to let the people off without being checked.
Yeah.
Then she backflipped. She apologised. The scenario with Maguire, again, she's apologised. Guys, when are you going to stop the apologies?
Yeah.
And ask for a resignation ASAP?
Yeah.
It's cost us a lot. A lot. You know, even myself, who's seen as, you know, strong and fighting, there are days I look up at the sky and I ask God to end it. Not me. Just do what you got to do. End this. We just want to live. The corruption, the lies, and the apologies.
Yeah.
Why isn't anybody being held accountable?
Yeah. That's right.
I think Australians have forgotten the fact that politicians are not dictators, are not emperors.
Yeah.
They are servants. If we remember that, I think they'd be gone in a heartbeat. How can Barry O'Farrell resign over a bottle of wine
$1,500.
who did not kill anyone?
Yeah.
Or did not lead to a state being put into lockdown? Resign because it was an embarrassment upon his political party and a bad decision. Yet Gladys Berejiklian has apologised twice now, and still she is premier. Daniel Andrews has apologised and being responsible for the worst thing that could ever happen to humanity and everybody in Victoria, and he refuses to resign. He should be dragged out of Parliament House by his gumbo ears and thrown into a back of a police station, police wagon, and driven away, never to be seen again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Romeo, my dad used to say that he'd always quote this verse in the Bible. I can't remember off the top of my head. Not hard to find. It's basically that, you know, God gives us the leaders that reflect us.
Yeah.
Which is a damning statement.
Absolutely.
Because it speaks more to, and this is something no one talks about on the conservative side, because it's, you know, you can't talk about religious spirituality. But the truth of it is, these are our representatives, and that's why we put up with the crap. That's why we put up with the fact that Gladys was dating in a relationship with someone who was being accused of corruption.
She says we were close friends.
We were close friends. You were in a relationship, and this man was under investigation, and you continued the relationship, and you said sorry.
And allegedly had discussions about things they shouldn't be talking about.
Exactly. It's a clear conflict of interest, and she admitted it in her apology. And people were like, oh, you know, she's just...
But here's the thing. I need Australians to understand something. The reason why these people are getting away with it is because so many people believe that without China, we can't survive. And... so therefore, as long as the Chinese money's coming, whatever they do is okay.
Yeah, but we talked about this last week, right? Is there anyone else?
Well, since last week, we have $20 lobsters for sale. $20 lobsters, guys. Limited to 4 per person. Wow. When was the last time you saw a $20 lobster?
No, not since...
Who needs the Chinese? Because if they sell them I don't know how much they sell them for.
Yeah.
In China, by the time they pay taxes, pay this, pay that,
Yeah,
are they left with $20?
Yeah, but explain why they're $20 now.
Because the Chinese didn't want them.
Yeah, because we're sending our best stuff over there. The biggest lobsters were going over there. And now, what does that mean? They're not $100 anymore. It means they're $20.
Yeah. And you know what? Farmers, the lobster farmer isn't upset.
Yeah.
He's selling, instead of one lobster, he's selling, I mean, they put limits on us because the Aussies were lapping it up.
Of course.
If they could buy 10, they'd buy 10. If they could buy 100, they'd buy 100. Yeah. They said, hold on, we don't have enough if you guys buy 100 each. So you're limited to 4. Who needs the Chinese? They did not take our coal. Yeah. They did not take our coal.
Yeah, and they had rolling blackouts because of it.
50% of the nation of China was in darkness.
Jesus.
Who needs them?
Yeah.
Who needs them?
Yeah.
They need us. We don't need them. I don't mind $20 lobsters. Yeah. I wish I could buy more.
Yeah.
I wish I could help more lobster Australian farm. What about our meat? Everybody's going on about we need China, we need China. Can you imagine buying, you know, what is it? Tomahawk steak for $20? There wouldn't be any left in the market within the first hour. There'd be demand going through the roof.
Yeah.
We can support ourselves. We can support our industry because is there any better lobster in the world than Australian lobster? No. Is there meat anywhere in the world better than Australian meat?
No. And
lamb.
It's natural. It's the best.
Yeah.
It is the best quality.
Because we have such high standards.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
That's right. That's right.
Guys, garlic, Chinese garlic apparently, it's fertilized with human feces.
Nice. Probably Uyghur crap.
Can you imagine if you saw somebody taking a dump near a crop here in Australia? He'd be arrested for contaminating a food source. True or not? Yet we've got rivers of feces in China that they grow plants in, and that's okay with them, and you want to eat that stuff? You know, prawns. Australian king prawns, New Zealand prawns. Why the hell you want Taiwanese or Vietnamese or Chinese? Who the hell wants that?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Open your eyes.
Yeah.
We've got the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you know what? Stuff them. They don't want it.
Yeah.
All for good.
That's
our
right.
farmers, our lobster farmers have not lost a cent.
Yeah.
They're in demand, big demand. They can't keep up.
Yeah.
This curse has turned into an absolute blessing.
Yeah.
But the blessings can be there
Yeah.
all year round, every year, for everybody.
That's right. It's a big world out there.
Yeah.
That's what Riccardo says. A lot of countries to trade with. We need bilateral agreements.
I really don't want, you know. Look, back in the 90s, there was Ericsson. Okay, there was 2 versions: the Taiwanese and the Swedish. The Swedish was always better than the Taiwanese. If you had a Swedish Ericsson, that was a good one. Taiwanese one always had problems.
Yeah,
right. We don't have that anymore. Everything's China.
Yeah.
So the standard is just nothing's designed to last. Whether it's for consumer purpose, the resale, and all that kind of stuff. Nothing's designed. Why doesn't anything last?
Yeah.
You know? Because it's not, you know, made well.
Yeah, that's right. Once upon a time, it was, you know, the craftsmanship was important.
Right. What about Hills Hoist, Victor lawnmowers?
Yeah.
All these stuff that the Australian people invented and manufactured. Just cheap ass hoist that lasts 2 years and rusts away and falls apart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yet you still got Aussie-made hoists in backyards that are 50 years old.
Yeah.
And still work beautifully.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? It's good old Australia. You know, hey, we need the Chinese.
We do. Apparently we do. Apparently we do. You know, there's so many things that we could have covered this week that I don't even feel like we need to cover. Because you know what, guys? If you've been following this content for long, you know what the stories are. You know what the formulas are. And It's been a crazy year, hasn't it, Romeo? It's been a crazy year, but you know what? It does. It's been very encouraging looking at Australia and seeing the right people stand up and say, no, this is enough. And those right people being empowered by other right people. In fact,
that's what I mean. You need our subscribers. We need our supporters.
Yeah.
We need you guys. We're willing to stand at the front.
Yeah.
But if there's nobody behind us,
it's nothing.
And we get pushed back.
Yeah.
We're going back.
That's right.
You are the guys that keep pushing us forward.
Yeah. We might be the tip of the spear, but if there's no force behind the spear, then it's nothing. It's just going to, the Kraken can just be a calamari.
Again, I think it's all a game.
Yeah.
I think we'll be finding out a few things soon. But just hold on to your seats. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Did you want me to briefly cover that just to give people an update?
Yeah.
So in America, guys, last week we talked about Mike Pence being the linchpin to the next attempt on saving the presidency for the Donald Trump another 4 years. So where things stand is there is one, I think there are still legal cases around America in these swing states. However, as we said, all the envelopes have been sealed, sent, going to be opened on January 6th, and they're going to be opened, and Mike Pence will tally the votes, which is unusual because it's his own re-election as well. But that's the Constitution's been set up there, and he can choose which places to take into consideration and take on board. So he could easily, because the problem is, guys, there are 7 electoral states where both the Democrats and the Republicans sent electors. So they are rival electors. So Biden might throw them all out, and that way no one gets the electoral college votes. And then you go to a contingent election where each state gets one elector, and the elector is sent from the legislators, and then Trump would win because there's more Republican states than Democrat states.
That's what's going to happen.
And you know, on that topic, I started today's episode by saying, is Trump planning a coup? On December 20th, guess what happened? Trump met with a number of Republican lawmakers, and they were talking about the January 6th date when Mike Pence will tally these votes. In fact, I was watching a live stream yesterday where Mike Pence was speaking to the biggest gathering of people around the world at the time on the day, and he was saying,
and come January 5th, we're going to hold the line in the United States Senate when we re-elect Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue to a Republican majority on Capitol Hill. And as our election contest continues, I'll make you a promise. We're going to keep fighting until every legal vote is counted. We're going to keep fighting until every illegal vote is thrown out. We're going to win Georgia, we're going to save America, and we'll never stop fighting to make America great again. You watch.
Saying we will not stop fighting until every illegal vote has been counted. We will not stop fighting. That was
Which
his
is
quote.
Constitutional right. It's nothing new. They're not being greedy. So to the media, shut up.
Yeah, exactly. What do you know? They've been saying it's over for 4 months, for 6 weeks now?
Yeah, easily.
How long's it been? It was the 3rd of November.
We're going on to 2 months.
We're going on to 2 months.
I'll tell you what, and I'm going to put it out there, mate. I'd love to have Karl Stefanovic pass by me after Donald Trump wins.
Yeah,
I would.
What did Karl say?
He just does conniving. I just don't trust the bloke, and he just goes. He said, as a journalist, okay, it's actually incitement what he said.
Oh, okay. What did he say?
Right? He was talking to somebody from America in politics.
Yeah.
He says to him, if Trump wins, there's going to be violence in the streets? And he goes, no, there's not going to be. Because that's not what I've been here. He's saying stuff like, and I'm sitting there and going, you are inciting violence.
Yeah.
You're not being a journalist.
Yeah.
The question that should have been asked, do you think that if Trump wins, is there going to be any violence? Like, a journalist is supposed to ask questions.
Yeah.
Not make statements.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Karl Stefanovic tries to...
It's called the loaded question.
Yeah.
Where you suggest the answer in the question. Yeah. Yeah. I do it all the time, guys, but I'm not the one that's saying I'm unbiased. Karl freaking, he reckons he's unbiased.
I really...
Yeah.
I mean, the bloke drips. You know, if Biden had an aftershave, you know Karl would be wearing it. You know it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and I have personal opinions about the bloke. I don't want to go into it. It's not worth my time. But when I see him, I don't see somebody that's very trustworthy. And so that leads to, why would I listen to you reporting anything?
Yeah.
You know, your actions is somebody that I personally wouldn't befriend in life.
Yeah. He doesn't seem down to earth at all. That's he doesn't seem down to earth at all. That's my gut feeling.
Look, we are all entitled to happiness. Okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But not at the expense of hurting somebody else. It's very important. Right? To turn your back, and I'll bring this up again. This is what made me turn on him.
Yeah.
As a man. Right? To turn your back on a person that has given her life to you for 21 years.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You were nothing.
Oh, yeah.
You were nothing. You were nothing. She helped you get to where you want to get to. To do that to her so publicly, okay? I'm not saying relationships are supposed to last forever.
Yeah.
I'm saying there should be dignity and respect to someone who has helped you get to the heights that you have got to. And to do that, to especially somebody that has given you children, the mother of your children, to do that so publicly and to look like you just don't care, I said, no, you're not somebody I trust.
Yeah, that was the connector. That's what triggered you.
Yeah, that's what really ticked me off. Had it been an article, Karl Stefanovic is separated from his wife, and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay? And he got married again quietly.
Yeah.
And good luck to him. You're entitled to happiness. You did not hurt her.
Yeah.
You hurt her personally behind the, that's everybody gets hurt in a breakup. But what happened after that and that big marriage in Mexico, it's like, mate, do you even think for a split second what you're putting her through?
Yeah.
Is this how you say thank you? Sorry, I understand. You could say, thank you so much for 21 years and it was great, but I've fallen out of love.
Yeah. It's possible, guys, believe it or not. You don't have to hate your spouse or an ex-girlfriend.
But to publicly have all this media circus and you just flaunting it that, you just didn't throw away your wife. You threw away your respect.
Yeah, that's right.
It's gone. And that's my opinion. That's why I don't like the guy.
Yeah. Exactly.
I used to think he was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I used to think, he's quite entertaining, larrikin.
Yeah.
Now I just see him as a opportunistic, vindictive, like seriously evil human being.
Yeah.
And he did bite the hand that fed him.
Oh, yeah.
That's pushed me even further.
Yeah. And it's because, I think that speaks to you because it's your, you can relate to it. You can be like, no, that's not what I would have done because I wouldn't be, my dad would have belted the crap out of me if he was around and I did something like that.
Oh, mate, every marriage, I've had the conversation with Jammal. I worship my wife. She's my saviour, hadn't I met her, I don't know where I'd be in my life, but we've had the conversation. I told her honestly, I said, if me and you, what we're entitled to is love, a happiness.
Yeah.
And if you're not with me because you love me, it's better that you go find happiness.
Oh, yeah.
And don't stay with me because of the kids or whatever. But we do it quietly.
Yeah.
And you get the house, you get the bank account. All I ask for is see my kids.
Yeah.
And I will continue to pay the bills. I'll continue everything because you've given me 21 years, 21 of the best years. You know, and that means I'm indebted to you as much as you are indebted to me.
Yeah.
But we don't need to be here because for the sake of the kids, we can continue to be. And we both agree. But you know what that's led to? That we work harder at trying to understand each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So we don't get to that space.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'd never hurt Jamala, ever. And I would never allow anybody, I'd never gloat about moving on. And she wouldn't do that to me either. We just...
Yeah. I've never understood that with people. You know, people in breakups, they're with people, with a partner for years sometimes, maybe a few months. And then the moment something goes bad and they decide to call it quits, they badmouth the person. And I'm just like, every time, every insult that you say to this person, whether you're gossiping with your one of your friends about it, someone you know, it's an insult at you because you were attracted to them. Why are you putting this person down that you were attracted to? And I've never made any sense, you know, because I've had girlfriends of the past. This might come as shock to my audience. A lot of my audience think I'm gay. I love it. It's hilarious because they can't accuse me of being homophobic, which is great. But no, I've had many girlfriends in the past, and if it, you know, especially a clean breakup is very important because this is a moment for both of you to move on and to seek happiness. You want the best for both of each other. You know, and if you are attracted to someone where that's not the case, then you need to strongly consider the reasons why you attracted to them in the first place and be cautious for the next time. You can't just rush into these things like a lot of young people do these days. I say young people, I'm 23, but you know what I mean. But yeah, there's your relationship 101 with Romeo Georges and Joel Jammal, guys.
I'll tell you right now, I mean, at the end of the day, the way you hold yourself is more important than it's more beneficial to yourself than it is, you know, trying to hurt someone. I was tell you, like, I was about 23 years old. I was dating a girl. She was great. We had a lot of good times together.
Yeah,
it was enjoyable, but it ended. You know, like many things did. And when it ended, I moved on. Yeah, right. She met somebody else, and when he found out that I was dating her, he approached me, and I couldn't believe what he asked me. I just couldn't believe it, and I got very upset. You know, he said to me, "Oh, you know, did you sleep with her?" I said, "What's it to you?" He said, "Did you? I want to know." I said, "What do you want to know for?" He said, "Because, you know," I said, "Look, that conversation is between you and her. And whether she wants to answer that question or not, it's up to her. I've got nothing to do with this."
Yeah.
He goes, "No, but I want to know from you." I said, "And you're not going to get an answer from me."
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're with her.
Yeah.
She's a good person.
Yeah,
Me and her are finished.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
And it was ended then and there, but I was actually very upset that he had the audacity to ask me whether I had slept with her. It had nothing to do with him.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, if you really want to be with that person, that question is irrelevant.
Yeah. It goes a long way, trust. And once you lose it, it's pretty much game over. You may as well just start the next relationship, honestly. You've got to hold on to that trust. When you start a relationship with a girl, it always helps when you say, look, it doesn't matter what happens between us. It's absolutely private. You know, no one will know about it. You know, because we are a partnership and whatever, and that silence continues after the relationship, even if it doesn't succeed.
Nobody needs to know.
Yeah, and that way you can have a real crack at the relationship, have a good go at the relationship, because you know that there's not that fear, because there's no, what is that verse in the Bible? There's no fear in perfect love.
That's right.
You know,
there's no conditions in perfect love. No fear, no conditions. It's just, firstly, there's no such thing as perfect love.
Yeah, except from God. That's right.
And your mum.
It's got a yeah, exactly. It's actually it's got its own word in the Bible. I don't know if you guys know this, because I mean, no one studies Greek in Australia. We're very uncultured. But in the Greek, in the New Testament of the Bible, it's all written in Greek, and there are 6 different words for the word love, because the word love, it turns out there's multiple different forms of it.
Different layers of it.
That's right.
Different types of love.
Yeah, and one of them is the divine love that knows no fear from God. It's unconditional. And
in the Arabic language, it's the way you pronounce the word love that determines its definition.
Yeah.
And who you're saying it to. Like hayate. In English, it means my life. And that also means love. Albe, my heart. That also means love. Right? There's so many words that we use, you know. Ruhe, my soul, you know. But look, at the end of the day, guys, I don't know how we ended up in relationship talks, but I'll leave you with this.
That's a great question.
Arguing is a good thing.
Yeah.
Do not think there is something wrong if you argue. Arguing is because one or both of you are so in love with that person and believe that that person is doing wrong that you argue. And at the end of the day, settle down for a minute and remember why you're together. Remember why you're together. And then have a civil conversation without yelling, without screaming, and put your grievances first. Put them up and have a discussion. But do not believe, we argue a lot, we're not compatible. No, actually, you quite are. Because that's the only way you build a relationship, by breaking down the different things that you don't like about each other. And the person doesn't have to change, just has to tweak a few things.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about stuff like, you know, why do you leave your shoes on the ground everywhere, for example?
Yeah.
You know, pick your shoes up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The little things. I think it was Jordan Peterson that pointed out that in relationships, women, they actually want a challenge. They want to. It's like the story of the Beauty and the Beast. You should listen to him talk on that, guys. It's really interesting. Where he basically says a woman wants to have an impact on a man. They want to show that they can better him, like he's a challenge. And that's why often the women, they don't go for the guy that has everything, Mr. Perfect, everything's perfect. They often go for the rough guy with the tattoos who's done hard time. You know
They can fix him.
They can fix him.
But there's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I can fix him.
They don't want a situation where there's no arguments, because then they'll have an argument about nothing. Because they want a challenge. You need to challenge each other and push each other to be better, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's the only way.
And maybe that's why nice guys don't do too well in relationships. There's got to be
something. Trust me, Joe. Those girls that go after the wannabe gangster quickly wake up and realise he really is a wannabe gangster and nothing more than that.
Yeah.
And it's the guy that got up every day, obeyed the law as best he could, and made the money that she'll find comfort with. Right? Because trust me, those guys that get up every day and obey the law as best they can, and I emphasise as best they can, they're the guys that when it comes time to party hard like no one can, you know. And those wannabe gangsters are in bed at 7 o'clock asleep.
Yeah.
You know, the ones on Facebook that do this.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the OG gangsters are extinct. You don't see them anymore. They're all like, you know, it's paper thin, you know. They're not actually... The
funny thing is, a real gangster doesn't want to be known as a gangster.
Yeah.
He goes out of his way to make sure nobody knows.
Yeah.
Whereas you know, you could be standing next to him in the church.
Yeah.
And you know, and you say... And he's going, you know, I just popped 3 people before I came here. You know? Yeah. And the guy that's telling you, I just shot 3 people, you know, he's probably one that laid on the ground underneath a car somewhere because a car backfired. That's life.
Yeah.
A lot of pretenders, a lot of fake people.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy the fact that me and Joel are true. What you see is what you get. You know?
Yeah.
We're not gangsters. We're not... wannabe gangsters, we're not
Agapantha plants.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard plants make a good living.
Plants?
Yeah, plants.
Of course they would.
Yeah, political plants.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So do spies.
Yeah.
You know, that's your job to infiltrate it, and you deserve to get that. If you're good at what you do, you deserve that money.
Yeah.
You deserve a lot of it too, because they find out who you are, you're dead.
Exactly, yeah. It's like a double spy, mate. You're screwed.
Yeah, but in Australian politics, it's called the fly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I asked about it, and they said, because I was told once that I was being watched.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That's good. You should say that's good. That's why I put the videos up.
And I said, by who?
Oh, okay.
And how do you know?
Yeah.
They told me by the Scott Morrison government. And,
This was around about the time when the bushfire stuff was going on, because you were. I think we all saw you as like a voice of the people and talking about the farmers and all of that. Yeah,
so guys, I need you to know you got to stick with the farmers. We need to. It's not over yet.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. It's not going to be over for a very long time.
Yeah,
I wish I could just off the COVID thing and designate more time to the farmers.
Yeah.
But I've just been torn in two between, COVID is easily dealt with.
Yeah.
The issue of the vaccine is another story.
Yeah.
I'm just glad the Australian people are waking up, and I thank the Australian government with all my heart for opening up the eyes of the Australian people, because they're the ones that said this vaccine doesn't stop you spreading it or getting it. So
that's right.
Thanks for your help.
That's right. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Very helpful.
Yep, here's a car.
We just have to keep locking down until the vaccine comes. Vaccine comes. We need another vaccine.
We're really not locked down in New South Wales.
No, we're not. We've
Queensland's locked down on us, and Victoria did. That's just payback.
Yeah, payback.
But you can still go to the country. And listen to this, guys. I hope you all understand about Christmas Day, what it means. It's, Joel, how many people live in your house?
Here?
Yeah.
8 adults.
Okay. It's 10 people outside of the house and 12 kids. I need people to understand that. It's not 10 people including so it's 8 plus 10, that's 18, plus the kids, unlimited amount.
Why does that change with the kids? Why is that it's fine for the next 3 days? Because you guys don't know this. The next 3 days they're changing it just for Christmas, just because it's special. You don't have to include kids.
It's a killer virus.
It's a killer virus because and I genuinely appreciate this about Gladys. They publicly acknowledged that kids below the age of 12 are less susceptible to the virus, which is true. I've been saying it for months.
No, not less susceptible.
They're not carriers.
That doesn't do nothing. They are walking tanks. That's what they are. They are walking tanks.
Yeah.
Nothing can penetrate them whatsoever,
Yeah. Except I won't say it. I can't say that. I can't say that.
Yeah. But anybody that's young, up to 20, 22, 23, you guys are safe.
Are you sure?
Right.
You know what these kids, there's a stat, below the age of 4, if they get COVID, there is a 22% chance that they will more likely die from the flu than COVID. They are safer than me.
Yeah.
And I'm an adult non-smoker.
Guys, I am a type 2 diabetic.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not concerned in the least.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that they keep promoting, the government, diabetics. And I'm type 2 diabetic.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't. I have not lost a little bit of sleep over it whatsoever. Not a wink. Nothing. I've slept like a baby through this whole thing. I have entered COVID areas to do my work during those lockdowns back then.
Yeah.
I had to do my work. Lugano, Peakhurst, right? In the eastern suburbs.
Yeah.
I did not care.
Yeah.
I saw no one. I did not get it off anyone, and nobody I spoke to knew anyone that had it. Just yesterday, we're driving down Avoca Street through Randwick, and they were lining up by the hundreds.
Yeah.
Every bit of me wanted to roll down the window and just give it to him.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm representing the company. You don't do that. But I just looked at him and shook my head. I want to remind everybody, okay, this virus is not a killer virus. That's the first myth.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's not. It's weak. It's a fragile.
There is a virus called COVID. It is in the family of the flu, under influenza. It is weaker than the flu, right? It is not a killer virus. So, can you imagine every year we line up 44,000, 42,000 and look for people who have got the flu? It's not going to be 8 people. It's going to be in the thousands.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
For 86,000 people in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And we got 8 and 7, 15. 8 and 7, 15.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Is it... And what are you supposed to do if it's that deadly?
Yeah.
Go home.
2 weeks. Isolate.
Right?
Yeah.
Get in your car, drive home, pull up at the service station, fill up petrol, pay money, talk to your neighbour, and then go inside. You're in isolation.
And that's what I don't get. They're fine with that isolation, but not overseas isolation in your own home.
What's the difference?
What's special
I've
about
been
these
told
hotels?
by the police
Yeah.
that the police do a better job than hotel quarantine. They actually visit people 3 times a week, random calls. Told me it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
We do a better job than that.
Yeah.
What is the difference between being COVID positive in a hotel and COVID positive in your house? How about you implement this law? How about you implement this law? Provide free buses at the airport. And these buses take you home. Pick up the people, go straight home.
Yeah. Or better yet, fit out a special certified Uber cars, sign up a couple hundred.
How about
Ubers.
reboosting the taxi industry?
Yeah, exactly. They're struggling.
Right.
They'll be like, they've been struggling this whole year.
When we had the case of taxi drivers being bashed all the time, they put in these cubicles around the taxi drivers.
Yeah.
Put them in.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the taxi drivers, it's your job, write their name, their address,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
pick them up at this time, take them straight home.
Exactly. Give them a tax card.
Can't stop anywhere.
Give them a tax card as well to incentivize it so they can handle the costs of fitting it out in the car. Get it
Give
inspected.
that contract to the taxis.
Exactly. Then they can take them home and then they can
And we can go back to being normal.
Yeah, but Romeo, that's too logical. You need to slow down.
We can go back to normal.
This is Gladys and ScoMo.
Right.
This is slow-mo we're
Lebanon,
talking
a
about.
third world country. You only have to isolate for 3 days.
Yeah.
Trust me, after travelling 24 hours, you need 3 days just to find the energy to have your holiday.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's not a problem there.
Yeah.
And the vaccine, here's another scenario instead of no jab, no fly. I'm happy to have a test at the airport prior to leaving. And if I test positive, I get driven straight back home and I'm willing to lose my airfare. I'm willing to lose it
Yeah, yeah.
because it's my fault.
Yeah, sure.
How about we do that? How about you allow us to get back to normal again?
Yeah, no, it's too logical.
Right.
It's too logical.
I should have been now sitting with my brother-in-laws.
Yeah, I should be in America.
What time is it now?
You should be in Lebanon. I should be in America.
Today I landed in Beirut in 2015 and I've kept that tradition.
Yeah.
23rd of December I've landed in Beirut for the last 5 years except
Really?
this year.
Really?
Okay? Except for last year because I had to go in the middle of the year when my uncle passed away.
Yeah.
But right now in Beirut it is 9:13 in the morning. Yeah. I'm supposed to be having ne'ish for breakfast with my family, with my wife's family. Yeah. Okay? Now, instead of going for 4 weeks like I usually go, I am more than willing to go for 2 weeks and then be picked up from Sydney Airport and taken straight home, and I'll sit at home for 2 weeks. Why are you locking me up in a hotel room? I don't understand. Why are you locking me up in a hotel room when I'm only 15 minutes drive from my house? It's absurd. Somebody's making a lot of money. Somebody is making a shitload of money because it's uncool. There is no difference whatsoever, right? With knowing that the police are going to come to my house every week, random days, 3 times in a row, I'm not gonna dare. And put a $5,000 fine. Put a $10,000 fine.
Yeah.
But we've gone back to normal.
Yeah. I'd be in America right now. I was meant to be at the conference Mike Pence was speaking at.
Yes, I remember you were telling me.
I wanted to go. I wanted to meet the people there. It's going to be very interesting because there's a lot of Australians that, a lot of young Australians that have finished their HSC and they'd normally be on schoolies. This is the first year I'm not going up on a fishing trip I do every year.
Oh, is that what you call it?
Yeah. No. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those.
You're still holding on to that.
No. This is a boys' trip. It's just fishing. It's like the middle of nowhere. And I'm purposely not saying where it is because this show has gotten fairly large these last few months. But no, it's we've been doing it since 2011, since I was in year 8. That's how young I am. And we couldn't this year because of COVID. Isn't that just great? Isn't that just lovely? Actually, no, that's a lie, guys. I have to take that back. It's not because of COVID. It's because we had those storms, those torrential rains there up there. They had like 250 millimeters of rain before we went up. It would have been terrible because it was like camping in a caravan park. So that would have been fun.
You camp?
Yeah, I camp, absolutely.
Do you glam camp?
No. I camp like in a tent.
And how do you maintain your eyebrows?
You don't. That's the key. That's the key because you've got to intimidate.
So do you look like the gladiator announcer?
Yes. When he says Proxima Maxima, yeah, that's what they look like. I curl them as well because I think he curled them up, right? He did them up like that.
Don't worry,
that's the goal.
When you're 47, they'll be thin like this. Because I used to have eyebrows like that, but they just thin out when you get older.
Is that right?
Yeah, of course they do.
Not with my dad. My dad went hard to the end. He had some solid...
Yeah,
and even the colour in that, it was just dark.
Vibrant,
that's right. It brought out his eyes. It was really
never
great.
Described eyebrows in that way.
Yeah, but no, what the hell are we talking about?
I don't know.
And it's fun.
Well, we're just offering some entertainment after some serious issues.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a crazy year, and we've been covering these issues very in detail this year. But next week is going to be... I think there's going to be a lot we need to talk about next week. It will be still relatively lighthearted with Riccardo, but we do need to sum up a year. And the year has been insane. But
excellent.
But yes, Romeo, it's been really enjoyable chatting with you again, breaking down the some of the current events, especially with Christmas around the corner. But yeah, guys, look, if you can continue to share the show, I really appreciate it. I think the show Romeo and I did, I mean, it's already reached over 100,000 people, which is phenomenal. I mean, those are numbers we're used to, but new guests.
Yes, I'm used to.
Oh yes. Well, I think before
very humbling. Very humbling.
Well, this is the thing. It's not me, and I keep saying it, guys. It's not me. It's because our viewers share the show. We must be tapping into
people want honesty, Joe.
Yeah, they want honesty.
Stop bullshitting.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna like.
Yeah, and I say that they can end me. The people can end me just like that, and that's why the worst thing you can do is accuse me of the wrong motives, because I wear my heart on my sleeve. It's like, what are you watching? Where are you getting this from? Show me the evidence and I will change. But no, they have been very good, and I haven't had a single negative interaction when I meet people in person. That's what's important when you get out. Like when I went to Queensland, oh my God, Romeo, they'd love you so much. They're just beautiful people. I don't know how they all knew us, but the show, as I said, it's done incredibly well, and chatting to these beautiful people in Australia and hearing them, when you go up to them And they're just really thankful that someone's speaking the truth.
Salt of the earth people.
Salt of the earth people.
Yes.
The Jacko and Narelle. Yeah. The Jacko and Narelle, Riccardo always
Queenslanders are the Texans of America, you know, salt of the earth.
Of Australia. Yeah. They really are salt of the earth, aren't they? They just need guns and then they're there.
But they are very, very nice people.
Yeah.
I mean, other than when it's state of origin time.
Oh, no, that's
right. And then something happens to them.
Something, it's a howling in the night.
But I've been up to Queensland quite a few times, mate. I'll tell you what, mate, you're lost.
They'll change all your tyres for you.
You're walking at night. Mate, they're great, like seriously nice people.
Yeah.
You know, Sydney siders aren't that nice.
No.
Melbourne,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's something.
Melbourne's okay. But I think Sydney here, there's this rush. I don't have time.
Yeah.
It's not like that in Victoria.
Yeah. They live to work.
Only
here.
the Greens.
That's it. That's it.
I got to get quickly to the heroin shooter. I got to get up to
I got to get to the Adani mine. We've got to protest. Got to block the roads.
The Greens the Greens like that run that like that everywhere, all over Australia. It's, you know, I got to get to the, you know, injection clinic.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, but Sydney siders to me is like, it's okay to say hello. Say hello. I mean, of course, not all of them, but you know, it's just such a.
They live to work. They don't work to live. Yeah.
Queensland is not like that.
No, it's the opposite.
They're actually bludgers.
Yeah.
Like, but they, like to the sense where we have enough, we're happy, we enjoy life.
They're bludgers.
You know.
This is gonna
Sydney
backfire.
siders are like, I have a big house, but I want 2 big houses.
Exactly, it's true.
Yeah.
Especially with the WOG mentality, because I don't know if you guys have looked at the
how much houses you'll have,
how much, how big, how many levels, how many bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know, how many bathrooms this one. But a lot of the different ethnicities that travelled around the world. Thomas Sowell, the great conservative philosopher or professor, he basically said the Lebanese people, when they go around the world, they are disproportionately well off. In fact, they are really well off in America. They're like number 9, whereas white people are like number 18.
Brazil is number 1.
Is that right? I thought it was like Indians or
Brazil, the Lebanese.
Oh, you mean in Brazil? I think you meant Brazilians in America. Okay. In Brazil, the country there.
Yeah, the Lebanese in Brazil are number 1. I hire a lot of Brazilians.
Yeah.
And as soon as they find out that my heritage is Lebanese, it's like, I go, what? They go, you're very rich in our country. Like all you Lebas are rich.
Yeah.
I said,
yes, I am.
not me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I must have been it's like the New Zealand, you have the Maoris and then you have the outsiders. Yeah, I must be from the outsiders.
Yeah. But why is that? Why do you think that is? Because I think it's because when you take the culture, and this is why culture matters. If you take people with a certain culture and you put them in a system, in an economic system where they can elevate themselves up the ranks, like in a Western country, the UK, Australia, America, they can elevate. And they flourish.
Yep.
And that's why.
And then they rip you off and piss off back to Lebanon again.
Exactly, yeah, that's right.
Like
they build the bocce houses.
Like Carlos, the Nissan CEO from Japan, just rorted them, got the hell out of there.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. That's why you got to be careful with lead builders, guys. I'll be the first to admit it. Yeah. There's some real bocce ones out there. But
there's a lot of good ones too. But
there's some great ones. But the problem is that we only hear about the bad eggs.
Well, but nobody ever wants to gloat about somebody good.
Yeah, that's right.
They just want to hammer the bad. So.
Exactly. Unless they've had a bad experience and they have someone good.
I think it comes from a lot of the wealthiest families here in Australia.
Yeah,
actually have a poverty, not starving, but not that well off back home.
Okay.
And the reason why they came here is because of that.
Yeah. So that's that mentality
and that drive that I'm in a country where I'm able to. The harder I work, the more I can make. I can have more than just one house. I can have more than just one car, and that just pushes them.
Yeah,
and they succeed.
Yeah,
because the hunger is there, the drive's there. Whereas in Lebanon, the corruption, the greed.
If you want to get your land title, you have the only way you can do it is through corruption. Everything is corruption. It's disgusting.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Your the rego of your car. You need to know somebody at the RTA and slip them a couple of bucks in order to get your paperwork through, or you could sit there for 4 days, even a week.
It's ridiculous.
They'll just keep. Yeah, he's not going to pay. Don't worry
it's
about
like
it.
in Lebanon, guys. I know we talk about politics and we apply the same principles to all these countries. You know, UK, Australia, America. In Lebanon, it is not the same. It's not left and right. Oh, you know, it's not socialism, capitalism.
No, it's
this is like corruption. Just sheer
It's not left and right, guys. Okay, it's actually left pocket, right pocket. That's what it is, left or right. There's no communism and democracy.
Yeah,
it's you either put it in my right pocket or you put it in my left pocket.
Yeah,
but either way, you're going to put it in my pocket.
Yeah, that's right.
You pick.
That's right. Yeah,
you know.
Anyway, we've
$40 billion in aid from the United Nations. Not a cent went to the people.
Jesus.
Not a cent.
Not a cent.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No Medicare. No infrastructure. Nothing. No pension.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
You know, if your father's old, you look after him.
That's right.
You have to. It's the way it is. So, with everything that's happening, guys, I think we should be grateful to a nation like this. But to the imbeciles that tell me, you know, Medicare is socialism. No, it's not. Okay, it's a right that you deserve from every government. So it has nothing to do with socialism.
I actually haven't made my mind up on that topic. I still need to look at it. The problem is often when we talk about these topics in different countries, Australia's 25 million people. In America, the same system might not work with 30 times the amount of people, 20 times the amount of people. So I'm not going to pretend I've read into it. I actually think that I need to look into it more. And
it exists because of the structures of capitalism.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The benefits, why do socialism, we're about to finish up, but I just want to end up. Why is everything that you're entitled to that should be free, like education and healthcare, automatically it's a socialism policy? No, it's not. Because if your nation isn't making money, right? And your people aren't getting taxed.
Yeah.
And that tax isn't being put back into the system to make our life better, where are you going to get the money from?
That's right.
So if you don't have capitalism with investments and growth, in then being able to get taxed, which gets put back into the government, which is supposed to represent the people, I don't care. That has nothing to do with socialism. Education and medicine and Medicare should be free.
Yeah.
Don't care. You know, it has nothing to do with socialism at all.
Yeah.
Right? Even Cuba, right? And all these communist nations, the only reason they have that system is because somebody's giving them money. Because they're not making any money, but because they're loyal to some communist nation, that communist nation gives them money. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go. Keep spending on your people, but you stay with us.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to look into it. What we have here works very well because I think that obviously there's long wait times for this specialized things, but when you look at things like if you want a bit better coverage, you can always go private if you got a bit more money.
There is no difference between the care that you get through the public system and the private system.
I don't know.
No.
Not my experience.
There's only one thing. You get your own room, mate. I tore my intestines many years ago. I had an injury at work, and something happened. And I didn't know what the pain was. I actually ripped my intestines from where they're supposed to be, and I went through the public system because it was emergency and all that. I was treated beautifully. My father had private insurance, right? I found him. I went visiting him in a hospital once. He wasn't being looked after that well, right? Then he was cutting timber, and the circular saw ran up his arm.
Oh, wow.
So he just didn't need stitches. He needed plastic surgery.
Yeah,
he did it through the public system.
Yeah,
he's treated like a king.
Awesome, good for him. I don't know.
I believe this. I've cancelled all my private insurance. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't want it.
Yeah.
right? Gap and no gap.
Yeah.
That's a raw. There should be no gap. If you pay $500 a month
Yeah.
for private insurance, why are you paying a gap for? I'm insured, pay it. You're still going to take $500 off me every month or $1,000 every month to insure my family. Then you still want me to pay a gap?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure.
It's like, okay, your house gets knocked down. You put a claim in. They come in after you paying all the money. They say, right, we will only build 88% of your house. You have to finish the rest. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
My house is fully insured. Why are you only paying 88% of it?
Yeah.
I don't have 12% left. I don't have anything. My house got burnt.
Yeah.
Exactly with the health system. Pay all this money, then you have to pay a gap.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, I need to look into it. This is a topic I'm not. It's not like climate change. I've had time to go through climate change and do all the research there. This is one where I'm like, I just don't know. I've got a lot of anecdotal evidence. I got a lot of, data I still need to go through. But yeah, it's a big topic, and it's not simple. It's certainly not simple. Healthcare is fickle.
No. Don't play their game, Joel. Everything is simple if you put your mind to it.
Oh yeah. If
you want to complicate it, it'll be complicated. If it's simple, it's that simple.
No,
that's how I think.
I say it's complicated because they've made it complicated. That's my point. The bureaucracy with all of this, it's ridiculous, and no wonder these things get weighed down. But we should end the video because these cameras are going to cut out very soon.
Okay.
I think. But Romeo, this has been awesome. This has been a pleasure to talk with you. I hope you don't get arrested on Christmas Day with your family if you're having too many people. But
I don't care. I will pay it. Gladys, I'll pay it. I'm Leb. I'll pay it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get out of my face. I want to eat, drink with the people I love.
Yeah.
And the people I live with and I visit. This is life.
Yeah.
I will be segregated and cut off when I'm in a coffin in the ground. Until then,
Yeah. Yeah, and there's an argument to be made. I think this might be my last. Maybe it's bad to say that. This might be my last Christmas with my grandmother. She's been very sick.
I'm sorry for that, Joel.
That's all right. She's lived a very long life, and she's loved by her whole family. And we want to do this. We want to see her, and it's very important. And I can imagine there's a lot of families out there that want to do the same with their parents. They don't want, Of all the times in the year, us Lebs, we work very hard. We keep our head down when we work hard throughout the year. And when we party, we party. Look at the weddings. They go off. Anyone that's been to one before, 800 people, no worries. That's average, average size wedding we sort of do. Well, Christmas and Easter, they're the times where your most fondest memories are created. And so for the government to be like, no, only 10 adults, and unlimited kids, it's like, come on, man.
They can say what they want. It ain't going to happen. Okay? It ain't. I can tell you there is a street in a certain area, and I ain't going to name the street, nor am I going to say the area. But fireworks have been illegal in New South Wales for 20 years. They put on a show that can match the Harbour Bridge.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Look, take your laws and get the hell out of here. When it comes to time to celebrate Christ, the birth of Christ, and enjoying good food with my family and friends, well, look, only God can stop me. So take your ass and get to the church. Get out of here.
That's right. Yeah, when laws become enemies of men, men become enemies of laws. And that's what they're asking.
Simple as that.
That's it. So we don't have an appetite for this in New South Wales. You can take the lockdown and shove it where the sun don't shine. Yeah. I'm not interested in getting more phone calls from people who know someone that's about to commit suicide, and we know people, or not get their medical checkups because they're too scared to go and get checkups. So, Gladys, you're a public servant. Appreciate what you're doing. Don't appreciate a lockdown, and definitely not a mask mandate. But let's end
mask mandate.
Yeah, let's end the show there. Romeo, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you have a great Christmas.
And Christmas, Charles.
And thank you. And thank you again for coming on the show. I can't wait for next week.
I absolutely love it. Love spending time with you. It's great. What can I say? Have a great Christmas, you and your family. I hope you can get to enjoy your grandmother as long as possible. In the Arabic is Salamta. You know what that means? That means, you know, all well. I hope she gets well. And I hope you get to sit down and do a toast looking up at the sky to your dad, mate.
He's been having a scotch with God since he got up there.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's a birthday party up there, mate. There'll be a couple of Congo lines with your father and
That's it. All right, Romeo, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.